elongated break for one or two reasons, and we're really very sorry. You know where we are, and that is why in every media house you must be sure you have your standby power supply, because you can't always expect power always. That used to be the original name of NEPA, never expect power always. That's exactly what happened and what played out here. But we're happy you're back, and thank God you still have the patience to wait. And we're back again. All right, what we're talking about is the Tinubu-Shetima presidential campaign cancelled, having accused Atiku Abubakar and even asked the security agents to get him arrested. We are going to watch the claim. Remember, I still have St. Moses Obona, a lawyer and a philosopher who is here, and Comrade Nnamdi Lekwachi. They are still at discussions for today. At the fullness of time, we will ask you to call in. But we are going to show you a video clip on telly right now so that you hear things yourself before we take on the discussion. Let's see the video clip.
Enough of playing the ostrich regarding the special purpose vehicle. And we have said that we strongly demand the immediate arrests and or invitation. If you are not arresting, you are inviting, interrogation, and possible prosecution of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Gentlemen of the press, these are the facts of this matter. For about a week now, Nigerians have been in deep shock over the grave revelations by a whistleblower, Mr. Michael Achimogu, who has provided the nation with iron-cast evidence of letters of appointment by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, emails, documents, audio clips, sworn affidavits, and his direct oral evidence. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who happens to be the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, during his tenure as Vice President of Nigeria between 1999 and 2007, colluded with his then boss, President Olusegun Obasanjo, to fleece the country and steal public funds using what he termed special purpose vehicle, SPVs. Those SPVs were companies Atiku admittedly registered upon assumption of office as Vice President with the approval of President Olusegun Obasanjo, using trusted allies as shareholders and directors. The purpose was to divert government contracts to these companies as consultants, and then paid monies into these companies and used those monies to fund the PDP and their private businesses and family activities. We can all vividly recall that during that tenure, both President Olusegun Obasanjo and Atiku Abubakar built the Bell University and American University respectively. Now, we know where those funds came from. They came from the SPVs.
All right, viewers, I'm sure you watched it and also you heard what played out there. And we are going to look into this matter, and as soon as the phone lines are open, you'll be expected to call in and make your contributions and ask questions. And then when we open the phone lines, and then the lines will be on. Yes, let me start with you, St. Moses Obona, and I am sure you heard what played out there. And they said that the PDP candidate, by the evidence before them, should be arrested. That between 1999 and 2007, that he siphoned and had to loot the country's economy, which he used in sponsoring PDP and other private companies for that. He should be arrested, as you have.
Yes, that is what has been viral this week. And I was surprised when I saw it. We are yet to hear the reactions of the PDP candidates. When the spokesperson, that is he said it was that the maker of the audio clips was
No, we'll get to that. Let's react to this. Do they have such right and power to call for Atiku's arrest?
Yes. The law is very clear. When somebody commits a crime before you, or you hear that somebody has committed a crime, whether you are police or not, a civilian, you have the right to initiate an arrest and hand over to police. In this case, they have the power to ask the police to arrest. Remember, this thing is a very weighty allegation.
Yeah, it is.
I'm very surprised because Atiku is my party's candidate. I'm in PDP. And Atiku is my presidential candidate. And with such a weighty allegation, remember before now, a lot has been said about the character of the person of Alhaji Atiku and Alhaji Bola Ahmed. We believe these are political jingoism, things that politicians will say in order to indict their opponents. But this one appears to be said by a whistleblower, a man who says, I am involved with him. This is what he told me, and he went ahead to record it. It is not me that will investigate. The law says I should involve the security agencies, that is the police or the DSS or EFCC, whichever organ is involved or given the power to investigate and then arrest. I do not succumb to the call to arrest before investigation because of the person that is involved. The person that is involved is not just a mean person, a very little person. The EFCC, ICPC, DSS should investigate and therefore arrest. But when he says he is going to court, it is also his right to go to court and say, court, this is something I have found. There will be an affidavit, and the court will look at it and see whether there is a prima facie evidence that calls for arrest. If that prima facie evidence is there, as we have seen, that is, as alleged, is likely to have been there, the court will order for his arrest and prosecution. Nobody is above them.
All right, comrade, talking about the SPVS, that is the special purpose vehicles that is purported to have been used to commit this same crime, and they are now threatening to go to court. What's your take on this? Is it a politically motivated thing?
Well, whether it is politically motivated or not, the most important thing is to prove the substance of the matter, to prove or to substantiate the allegation. That's the most important thing. After all, Atiku and Tinubu, all these aspirants, one person P2P, they are all known as politically exposed persons. You understand? So if they are politically exposed, it means when they be, in fact, let me say this, you see, in the United States of America, if you indicate your interest to run for office, the FBI begins to go through your dossier, begins to investigate you. So why do we not do that in Nigeria? You understand? That should be the question. And then, yes, I listen to the tape. I know the voice of Atiku Abubakar, and I also know that in most cases, human beings we do share attributes, including voice. There are some persons who, when they speak, you may think that Namderubachi is speaking. The voice I heard from that device sounded like that of Atiku Abubakar, because Atiku is someone whose campaign I've been following, I've been listening to his speeches. So the voice I heard there, I'm not establishing that it is his own. Mind you, in the Bible we still say the voice of Jacob and the hand of Esau. So it still points to the whole thing. But then you see, In Nigeria, we know that this is the standard, and it's quite unfortunate that politicians use fronts. You understand? They use fronts to siphon public funds, to siphon or to loot the treasury. And in this instance, we hear that the so-called special purpose vehicles, where companies register purposes of consultancy or consultation, and then payments or consultancy fee for services in most cases not to be rendered, and it's quite unfortunate. The most important thing, like I said, is to substantiate, to prove this. You understand? What APC has done is good. It's a bold move and initiative to make sure that the matter gets to the appropriate quarters. But then the contrary is this: that the same APC, the same man who was reading out that very statement, is not supposed to be reading that statement. He is the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, being paid with our taxes. Why is he also in the campaign of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and or even to be the spokesperson of that campaign? You understand what I'm saying now? Yeah. Is he receiving double salary? See, the constitution, the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria are clear about these things. So, is he a minister? Now, we know he should be a category member of the APC, or at least a sympathizer of the APC, but is he supposed to be serving the Federal Republic of Nigeria at this moment, or a party? That's the question. Then number two, the APC now understand that this young man now, what is that system, the person who made this revelation, just what is his name again? Michael who?
Michael Atumogo.
Michael Atumogo is now a whistleblower, but they didn't accept that David Rende is also a whistleblower. When we know, and we hear these things, that in fact the matters of Tinubu himself, as far as I'm concerned, have not been settled. The issue of drug peddling and then forfeiture of $460,000 and the rest of them. So I think it is still what it is. Okay. The APC has a case to prove. You understand? If they are taking it further in the court, it is fine. It is beautiful. Let the court decide. But I think it's high time we begin to use our authorities, our security agencies, and the intelligence community. Hillary Clinton was actually proved by the Senate of the US or of the US, and at the same time, the files that indicted her were also perused by the FBI. So why are our own authorities not doing the same thing? We take a whistleblowers to something revelations.
All right. Let us also. We are going to also listen to it because corroborating the Alake's position, Keyamo said it was obvious from oral account, voice notes, and all other supporting documents provided by the whistleblower that Atiku committed those crimes. Let us look at these voice accounts and see what happens. It's on air so that.
Yeah, Mike.
Yes, sir.
How can you ask me what is STV?
I don't know what STV is, and I need to be sure before I start arguing with these people.
STV is a special purpose vehicle. In other words, is a company they incorporate to carry out certain, activities.
Okay, sir.
You see, what happened was when we came into, the office, and I advised the president against, open corruption.
Yes, sir.
I told him, I said, give me 3 people you trust.
Yes, sir.
And I will prepare 3 companies for which they will be the subscribers, or rather the directors.
Okay, sir.
So that, if there is any contract that we give, they will act like consultants,
yes.
And then they are given a fee.
Yes,
and
sir.
that fee is what we now use, to fund the party instead of, engaging open. So he gave me the names of Fashawe, Andy Uba, and the late, this guy, from Borno State, who died in that plane crash. Trying to, 3 of them.
Okay, sir.
So I now incorporated companies and I put them as subscribers.
Yes, sir.
And one of the companies was Marine Floats.
Yes, sir.
So when this governor sent a donation to the party, now he sent it to Marine Floats. So it was paid into Marine Float,
Yes, sir.
you know. And one of the subscribers of Marine Float was Otumba Fashe. You know, that account was very, very well investigated by EFCC to see whether, there was any vision. They found out that there was nothing.
Yes, sir.
So that was where the 100 million went to. It did not go to Atiku Abubakar. It went to Marine Float. And Marine Float was an SPV, special purpose vehicle, created, as a consulting company. So
Okay, sir.
that was the way I handled it.
Okay, sir.
Yes. So that was what I briefly tried to explain to you. No money was given to Atiku Abubakar.
it's okay. These people, as the time draws closer, they keep coming up with a lot of issues, and one needs to be able to have a few facts to be countering them immediately. Yes, sir. No problem, sir. I will tackle him.
Let's go. All right, viewers, I'm sure you listened to that by the claims of Keyamo. He said they had voice notes and documents to prove their claim, and that's exactly what you just had on air now. So more, let me come back to you. You had the voice note, and then still confirming the claim. Though the young man who they said is a whistleblower, Michael Achumogo, is claimed to be an ex-aide of Atiku, and that is to say he knows too well what happened, and whatever evidence given is accepted. So what's your take on that?
You see, the election we're going into is to elect a president who will pull this country out of the middle. In fact, the slogan is to reclaim the country. This country has been subjected to all forms of criminalities, corruption, insecurity, that every youth of this country has lost hope. This is the only chance we have to reclaim a country. Installing a president who is transparent, who is corrupt-free, who has capacity, who one form of allegation is not leveled upon him or the other. I think that it is the onus now lies not sending a spokesperson to come out and say this voice is correct or not. I said it or I did not say it. Or I know the Achimoto. Is that his name?
Yes, Achimoto.
Or Achimoto or not. Otherwise, every individual, every citizen of this country has the right to go to court. Because if Atiku is enthroned as the president, what he does will affect me and our children.
Yeah, comrade, you had Michael Achumogo, and then after now we are still going to play the spokesperson, the campaign spokesperson of Atiku Abubakar, Dino Melai. After now, we're also going to listen to him and hear their own version of the whole story. But you had Michael Achumogo.
Yes, I heard him clearly.
Okay.
Yes, I heard him clearly. You see, something was quite inciting in that comment, or in the conversation, the telephone conversation that actually played out there. And I want to thank you for taking time to actually play the tape, or the recorded tape, and even the video clip of Facebook. You see, one thing was established, that upon the formation of the so-called SPVCs, they were able to get 100 million naira from Joshua Tali. They were able to get 100 million naira from that in conversation. If you had listened very well, they were able to get 100 million naira from Joshua, and then other sources using these fronts. But like Sen said, I am expecting Atiku Abubakar to come out, you understand, and address this matter, including the grey areas. He shouldn't be silent. Like, for example, now, Tinubu has not spoken. Yeah. Even in his own case about drug issues and what have you, he has not spoken. So this whole thing is happening, and at the same time, let me tell you something. Nigerians have been willing to read the handwriting of the wall. You understand? They have been willing to read in between the lines. And that is why many people believe that these two parties represent the establishment. 6 of half, one then half a dozen of the other. That's what the people believe. That APC and PDP represent the same thing. But I'm trying to say it this way. Now see, the issue.
I would disagree with you.
I know you. I know you
disagree. And PDP.
Yes,
I know the presidential candidates of APC and PDP.
I'm coming.
Yes, single them out.
If one reads the book by Obasanjo, you will hear what he talk about Atiku Abubakar. He said he's not reliable, that he's the most corrupt person he has ever worked with. I'm putting now Obasanjo, his principal. You understand? So it brings us back to the same thing: character, competence, integrity, track record. What do these things have to do with the candidates? 18 of them who are parading themselves or who are presenting themselves, who are fighting themselves for the presidency. So have we gone through their backgrounds to check their records? You understand? So I am waiting for Atiku Abubakar. No longer a spokesperson. The voice there is alleged to be his. Let him come out and talk. You understand? And in most cases, you see, nobody should think he is above Nigerians. The same problem we are having now, that Buhari doesn't address the nation. In some instances, in some cases, Buhari keeps silence, and we are complaining. Tinubu did not also address the issue of the drug. We hear from even FFK, many people who came out to address and then try to establish one fact or the other. The same thing is happening in the case of Atiku. So now, I'm not campaigning for him, but you see, there was a recent allegation against Obi, how his company Next folded in London. He came out to say, before this time, I had nothing to do with Next again. I had actually left the board and I have handed over everything to my wife, and then see what happens, see the vision of the things. And I expect other candidates to be like that. When you see, even the Panama Papers that were leaked some time about Obi was on Arise TV. Meaning that if we invite him, he can come here and talk to us. That is what I expect of other candidates.
All right. In response to this, the PDP said that it was very, very ironic. The presidential candidate of APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has been accused of perjury, forgery, looting, corruption, and even narcotic, will come out to say that. And then it's not just because the snake seen by one person has always been a python. Let us listen to the spokesperson, the PCC spokesperson, Dino Malaya, and hear what he has to say. And that's, viewers, keep watching and keep listening.
Have shown their satanic manifestation. These have shown that they've all accepted Atiku is the leading presidential candidate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They have no other credible means. We have evidence of his criminality. We have evidence of his indictment. What is this thing doing around saying that he wants to be president?
Senator.
Instead of them to apologize, and people meet him on the street on daily basis. We traveled on the street of London. People were stopping him to take pictures with him. So if you see Atiku Abubakar and take a picture with him, or you interacted with him for minutes, then you go. It's not nightmare to apologize to Nigerians, and the man withdraw. You are talking of an innocent Nigerian that is coming to salvage us.
So, is your candidate saying,
my candidate,
an understanding of what the issues are, is your candidate saying, and I'd like you to quickly just say this so that we can move on to some other issues, is your candidate saying that he has never had any relationship whatsoever with Michael Achimogo?
That is what I am telling you now, that my candidates have no personal or administrative relationship with Michael Achimogo. And he is not an
All
aide
right.
of
Since you've said that, let's move on now.
He is
to-
not an aide
yeah.
of Atiku Abubakar. These are all orchestrations
Yeah. So-
of the APC.
All right, viewers, you heard directly from Dino Melaya. Dino Melaya is one of the spokesperson of the PCC of Atiku Abubakar, the presidential campaign, of person of Abubakar is a spokesperson. You heard it. He has dismissed the fact that Michael Achimogu has nothing to do with Atiku Abubakar and was never his aide, and said he was only bought over to blackmail Atiku Abubakar. You had that yourself, and also a counter accusation on Tinubu, who he said is involved in narcotic corruption and all forms of vices, and then has no right to do this. You all had that. Now while discussants will be taking on this, we are going to open our phone lines. Remember, it's still 091 682 84994. I take it again, 091 682 84994. You can always call us. St. Moses, you heard what Dino Malaya said.
You see, sometimes I think these people are taking us for granted. They think we're fools. You see, a senator, just past senator, like Dino Malaya, coming to talk to us, the whole nation, Nigeria, with 200 million population, telling us that because these people are from Tinubu, because Tinubu has his own criminal allegations, that they cannot talk about Atiku. I think that is calling us fools. The thing on the table is that the voice of Atiku? Did Atiku this book? Is there anybody living as Achimogu? Is there a human being living? If he is a human being living, does he know Alhaji Atiku Abubakar? If yes, does he have anything to do with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar? If yes, the voice we are hearing discussing with him purported to be that of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Is it real? These are the things we thought person like Dino Melaya should come out to debunk or affirm. Otherwise, they should know that the youths of this country are tired. We want to reclaim this country. We do not want to look at a party, tribe, religion, or where they are coming from. The people of this country wants to reclaim this country to be the great nation we are supposed to be. Therefore, I am surprised that somebody like Dino Melaya, who fought Muhammadu Buhari, who was alleged to have had one financial
malfeasance
or the other, which he was taken to court, which we sometime or the other saw him jumping out from a vehicle, will come out to say that an allegation against another should not be verified. That means these people are using us as a photo trick. Please, we are using this medium to say, please, Atiku, I am a member of your party. Come out and tell us whether what they are saying is correct or not. Otherwise, I will join the group to say, please step down. We are not interested in whom you are. You have 31 children. We are not interested. We are interested in our own children. We are interested in the downtrodden of this great country. We are interested on the people of North who are in IDP camps. We want them to go back to their villages and live like me, I am living in my village. We are not interested in whom you are and what party you are representing. That is what, not what this country, the youth of this country, the parents of this country are interested in. Come out and tell us whether what is alleged is correct or not.
All right, comrade, you had it all. You had what
Gino said, yes.
Yes, what Gino Melaya said, and then we are looking at it, and then in that statement, he was not open to disclaim what was alleged, against Atiku Abubakar, and then instead he said that they have no right to.
No, I think if you say he did not disclaim
no, he disclaimed, but he did not openly say whether
he said, I want to say something.
or not.
You see, this is a season of theatrics and political drama. Expect many things, expect a lot of things. And you see, there is this saying among my people that the owl will say its name, and I will speak it in Igbo. You see, many things are happening, and then we are beginning to see the underbellies of some political actors and gladiators within the system. And I have to say this, you see, Dunomina said Michael Achimogu is the agent of APC.
Yes.
He said that is being used by Bola Tinubu camp to demarcate his principal. But do you know that in some other sources or in some other news items, in fact, a letter of appointment had been circulated to this effect, to the effect of his appointment, that he was appointed. He claimed that he said, and he said if they try to talk further, he will do something that would expect that he has already briefed his lawyer and his family. You understand? Should they attempt his life? I'm putting him now. You understand? It means he is prepared to do what? To bring to bring startling revelations, more startling revelations. You understand? Of more. But the question should be, this should be the question now, and that is what we are not asking. Why would these persons use their fronts to talk to Nigerians when they have not yet been elected? When they should be talking to us? And this is why I have problem with the Chatham House outing. Not that Chatham House is not fine to go there and articulate your policies. We have the equivalent of Chatham House, and some of us are members of these institutions or these institutes. You have the NIPS, Nigerian Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies in Jos. Yes. We also have Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, 15 Kufo Aboyemi Street in Victoria Island, Lagos. Yes. These people are not talking to us. They are going about to articulate. You imagine all of them. You understand? How many times have they been to address issues as they have to do with them? And that's where I am saying, and I am lending my voice to what Sen said. Atiku is running to represent or to rule 200 million persons. Yes. And allegation is coming against him. He should address the 200 million persons, whether that voice was actually his voice or not. And we have not heard the last of it. I am also expecting this young man, you understand, if he has more, even if he has more incriminating evidences, let him bring them out. We are in the season of elections, so that the electorate, Nigerians, including those who may be steering for a particular candidate, ignorantly, we know that they have been on the wrong track. But if at all, what he has been saying, you understand, constitute maybe libel or trying to demarcate somebody, let it also be established. That's my own point.
What I want to add is, today it is Atiku Abubakar. If you have anything against Tinubu, bring it out. If you have anything against Obi, that will make us be reasonable in our choice of.
Then take voting to court.
Bring it
for
out.
our citizenship.
Bring it up so that when we are voting, every individual in this country, except these bourgeoisies, these men who are taking our money, stopped it and be carrying it in bullion van, trying to arrest Emefiele for changing the face of Naira, so that they will carry the money and they use it to buy votes.
Yeah.
bring everything that will make us know that the person who are voting in should be the person God has ordained to reclaim this country. Otherwise, you who is concealing it, you who is trying to hide and receiving money to hide such characters, your children will suffer what every other person will suffer. We are ready now to reclaim our country, and we are ready for it.
Yeah, comrade, do you think most of this defense, both the accusation and counter-accusations, both from the APC and the PDP, I don't think these are just paid people? They are the aides to these presidential candidates. Because we've not heard actually from the presidential candidates.
Yes, I am not interested in where they are paid. Like I said before, what I'm interested in is the substance of their argument. Is their argument logic? Can it stand the test of logic? You understand? Can their argument be substantiated? Can it prove something, whether negative or positive, about the candidate or about the addressees whom they are addressing, or whom they or whom these allegations are addressed? But I have something to say. See, even the camp of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and this is my personal opinion, should even be ashamed of themselves. Because in 2019, we all saw how the billion van issue, you understand, the 2 billion vans came into the house of one man. And people challenged the EFCC, and I want to quote the EFCC, the former chairman of the EFCC. He said, anybody who has evidence should bring them in. Many petitions flew in. That moment he said it. Till today,
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. They have not moved against Tinubu. You understand? You understand what I'm saying now? No, even there are even allegations. You see, if you begin to look at this, you see, you begin to ask yourself, are these persons, are they bigger than Nigeria or Nigerians? And that is why, like Sen said, they will take us for granted. An allegation like this is happening. You understand? Or is being alleged, or being being brought up by someone. The person so accused has not even talked. He is using fronts to talk to us. Tomorrow you go and attack President Muhammadu Buhari for not addressing Nigeria.
Yes.
Whereas you are not even the president yet.
And you can't.
And you can't talk to us. Yes.
If you listen to the voice note, if it is correct, the voice that is alleged to be that of Atiku says, why are you asking about the
SUV? Don't you know what SUV is?
Don't you know? The guy said, I want to listen so that when they ask me to defend it,
I will know what to say.
I will know. For him to say that to him means that he has confidence.
If that was actually his voice, though.
If that was actually his voice, and if the other voice was that of Nigeria, it means that both has confidence in themselves. That the both knows what they were doing. Both Atiku and Chimugu knew that there were fraudulent activities going on.
And if you look at the way we buy cars in this country, special or those vehicles, the way we buy cars for judges, for governors, for ministers, for what have you, including buying for, I think, Niger or Chad, you will buy vehicles. So these are the things yes. The other day, I mean, you see, I was asking myself the question, and I had to say, why is
I don't know if I had
Ned Nwoko?
Do you know the former chairman of APC?
Adam Soshomoli.
There's something he said when he was being attacked. So we said something that will,
yes,
unsettle the polity.
Did you hear that? Everybody
who wrote and said that too.
Which means these cabals knew something that will, if we know it, will solve the problems of this country. And they are holding it back. And they are carrying broom all over the place. Displaying broom as if we are fools.
Broom and umbrella.
Broom and umbrella.
All right, before we go for today, I will come to you, comrade, after that, St. Moses. What do you think this means to Nigerians? Well, I call it exposure, because there are two people are now listening and are eager to hear. They want to know how will Nigerians handle this. And this will also go about to tell us whether the rule of law is still working in Nigeria and whether if any man is above the law.
Yes, thank you very much. The most important thing for us is to understand that the world is watching. We are also watching, and these things are happening before us here. But I should believe that whoever has any, in fact, I'm expecting organizations like SERAP. You know, you hear about SERAP every time. Yes. SERAP and the rest of them, even those other socio-economic society groups, or those society groups focusing on poverty development to take up this matter. You understand? We already have institutions. AFCC is there, the ICPC is there, the DSS is also there, many of these institutions. Then I am expecting, like I said before, you see, Hillary Clinton, as I said, if you present yourself, or if you offer yourself to be the president of America, or even a congressional person, the FBI and other relevant authorities go into investigation to know your past record. But in Nigeria, it does not happen. It is only in Nigeria that you have a candidate whose first 20 years of existence on earth is fake. It's not known. It's only in Nigeria that you have a candidate whose primary school record, whose secondary school record, who's dealing. And it's only in Nigeria you see that somebody who worked with the customs can come out to tell you that he has actually worked that over the years to become a billionaire. So the question should be, what type of persons are we dealing with? And this should also serve Nigerians. Then the institution should begin to do their work without fear or favor. Like I said before, there are cases standing against PDP. There are also now these ones are coming up. What are they doing? And what are these institutions doing? It should be important to us.
All right. So Moses Obonna, they're looking at what is happening, and then 2023 general election is by the corner. What should our people expect, and what is happening? Now, remember, Obasanjo said, if we got it wrong this time, we are doomed. So, with what is happening, and what will the court? What are the courts? The security agencies? What are they expected to do? And even the court with this level of exposure on these two candidates.
What?
The two candidates we're talking about, we've had the accusations and counter accusations. This one is accusing this of narcotics, corruption, and
we should take the honorable part.
Which is
step down.
Okay.
We are not interested on whom they are. We are interested on what Nigeria wants to become. My brother, this country is a great country. It's the giant of Africa. It's a country that there was a day a pastor came to my office and he was telling me about what we should pray about the country. I said, what do we want to talk to God about? God has given us everything we desire. When he was talking to Abraham, he said, I will remove you to a land endowed with milk and honey, silver and gold. There is nothing that God has found in Nigeria. Then you want to ask God the country for us. God has given us PVC, given us the power to vote in who will manage the country and the economy for us. And you want to look at me, say Moses, because I'm your brother. You know I'm a rogue. You know I have criminal, not even criminal. This
not 10 days, but criminal records.
Not even records. Criminally intended to go forward. Then you want to, because I have given you money. I am your brother. I am your churchman. I am from your tribe. Then you want to vote me in. There is one question that is being asked. Those people in IDP camps, Are they Igbos? Those people that are being killed in Imo State, are they Hausa people? Unknown government, do they look at you whether you are Igbo or Yoruba? The Boko Haram people, do they look at you whether you are Igbo or Hausa? We want to reclaim this country. And when we look at the three candidates that are, I want people like Wakwaso, Sowore, to form alignment. Let them not insist. If you know that people of this country will not vote for you, align with somebody that has the capacity, that has the ability. Align with them. Ask them what they will do for you. We're not interested in personal aggrandizement. We're not interested in what you want to achieve. We're interested in what our youths will become. That's where we are. These two candidates, if what is being alleged is correct, by the grace of God, let them step down.
All right, before we go, distinguished gentlemen and ladies, viewers, I'm sure you've had enough of this today. And then it's unfortunate you could not call in, but maybe some other time. Remember, tomorrow is Nigeria Today. Keep watching Living Television. But before we go today, I'll still come to you, comrade. What's your final and parting word for our viewers today?
Okay, thank you. My final and parting word for our viewers today is this. Before you vote, check, verify the candidates you are voting for. I rest it on that pastor's sermon. May the character of your children be like the person you vote for. You understand? So if the character of the person you are intending to vote for does not suit, then leave that person. Vote objectively. Do not vote for tribe, for religion, for any other fault line. Because where we are today, even the incoming administration will start on a very difficult note. Thank you.
All right, St. Moses Obonna.
Please, I am raising my hand. If anybody I want to vote for does not reflect the character of the person that I want my child to, my children, or my children's children, if I vote for them, whatever punishment they bring upon this country should be on top of my children. So help me God.
All right, viewers, that's the motto
I
we're
also
taking.
said to me,
I will ask you to go get your PVC. SANIC has been doing justice to that, announcing it from local government to words. Make sure you pick yours. Remember, this is the time we are going to right all the wrongs and all these cries and lamentations everywhere. This is the time to correct them. How are you going to do that? It's just by making your top your person, and make sure you pick your PVC. And remember, if you fail to do this and this continues, whatever happens, be upon your head and the head of your children. Let us vote right. That is what the two speakers today are saying. Let us vote right and make sure we help in salvaging this country, Nigeria. And from my far left, I say, St. Moses Obonna, thank you for being part of today's program.
thank you, Nigeria. Thank you, Nigerians.
And Comrade Nnamdi Lekwachi, it's a pleasure having you here today.
It's also my pleasure. The greater part of the pleasure is mine. Thank you, and thank you, viewers.
We are this young command, Chideduma Adele. Remember, tomorrow is Nigeria Today. Keep watching Living TV until we come your way again.
And so you can keep on watching Living TV. I can say in pidgin English, Living TV, Unade Kampe.
Allow me to enjoy myself. Allow me, Have you heard that Living Television, the latest satellite station on SatView channel, is received all over Nigeria and Africa? You can watch Living Television on every free-to-air HD decoder, including Strong HD and CSAT HD. Why keep paying for monthly subscriptions when you can have fun for free? With Living Television, you can watch lots of wrestling, football, documentaries, and Nigerian films, including discussions and debates on current Nigeria issues. Watch free live matches on La Liga Spain cum Serie A, Italy cum Bundesliga, German League 1, and French matches on over 80 premium channels. Wow! You can also sponsor your programs such as live church services and crusades, political rallies, burial and wedding ceremonies, promotional interviews, announcements, advertisements, documentaries, and commercials. We are situated at number 1 Judges Street off Ikorebane Road, Aba, Abia State. For further enquiries, call 0805 367 3900. Signed, Management.